Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course the brown skin human coming back at you with another movie series review intro. My previous movie series review intro, whenever I uploaded to YouTube, for some odd reason, the newest, the Crush 40 upload of Sonic What I'm Made Of, their uploaded version for some odd reason has a copyright on it, and whenever I see, and the copyright is actually not a problem according to YouTube, but if I ever want to set this account up for monetization, it will be a problem. So I'm going to do a remade version using two non-copyrighted songs. Even though this is an intro for movie reviews and rants, the What I'm Made Of will from now on this channel will only be the outro, and I'll use one of the old school non-copyrighted uploads of Sonic What I'm Made Of. The intros will feature the Sonic Heroes theme, which I haven't used in a long time, and of course the iconic We Can that I use a lot now. Everywhere on every other platform, the intros, I will use the old intro. So with that being said, let's get started right now. Hey everybody, it's time for my surprisingly early review of Spiderman No Way Home. This review was going to be late December, maybe even early January. I didn't think I'd get a chance to see the film right away. The website I go to watch a bunch of classic, modern, and current television shows and movies is had this movie had surprisingly had this movie playing before release date, before American theaters release date. One day, yeah, it was there one day, so I got to see the film early. Early, and I was in a horrible mood that day. And this film was so awesome. It put me in a good mood, and I'm now not in the best moods, but I'm in a so much better mood because of this awesome film, man. Marvel has once again done it again. Whenever I doubt Marvel, they always make me eat my words. And they always exceed my expectation and prove why they are the best at what they do, and that they are, like Bret Hart and the late Burt Reynolds said in The Naturals, they are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Man, what a phenomenal film this was. Coming into this film, I was initially excited back in 2019 with Far From Home, the spoiler at the end. I was hugely excited. Then my excitement turned to disappointment when I heard what Sony was doing and what they were trying to do. Then my excitement rose again when I heard what Tom Holland did, and that was once again got Sony and Marvel back to sharing the rights. But I still hated Sony and refused to watch or trust anything Sony does alone. I hate them. I wish Marvel would get full rights back to Spider-Man. I wish Marvel and Ditko and the family of Ditko would get full rights back to the and share the rights, and leaving Sony with nothing, and force Sony to be creative and come up with stuff, because Sony doesn't care about telling great stories with these characters. They just care about setting up multiple films. They just care about selling merchandise and setting up multiple films. They are the most money hungry people ever. Yeah, most people are money. Most people in the film industry are money hungry. They at least have some passion. They at least try to make these films good. And fun. That's the problem I have with Sony and various other studios. But that's another discussion for another day. Let's get back to my history. Instead, my excitement once again turned to disappointment when I heard rumors that Garfield could be coming back. I definitely want Toby. I don't mind Toby being back, but I did not want Garfield. I despise and detest Andrew Garfield. And I unsubscribed, I trolled, I talked trash about, I will be talking trash about them again. Talk trash, and trolled all of those comic book, YouTube, and Facebook channels. I unsubscribed and unfollowed them, and it wouldn't stop. The rumors kept coming. I tried everything in my power to disprove them. But as soon as the third trailer dropped, I'm like, yeah, Andrew Garfield is in the film. Despite and already I would say, and then I spoiled myself early. Before I saw the film, I read the synopsises. I do this all the time. I usually forget most of the stuff in the synopsises anyway. And I read several things, and I didn't like what I was reading. It goes to show you, what was on paper looked terrible, but when you saw it play out on the screen, it was awesome. Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man No Way Home, the MCU, they did the impossible. They made Andrew Garfield and his Spider-Man movies tolerable. Andrew Garfield's, this is fact, this is not opinion. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies are the worst comic book movies of all time. The only thing worse than them are Venom and Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. That's a fact. Now, you can like the films, that's your opinion. Your enjoyment of the films is your opinion, but they suck. There's a reason they failed. These films didn't care about the comic book fans, and they damn sure didn't care about the moviegoers. They thought they tried to make a film for dumb little kids and women who of course don't understand or don't read the source material, knowing they wouldn't see all the BS. They just took a long 2-hour film They made a long 2 hour advertisement film with nothing but Easter eggs and fan baiting material and setups to other films that have nothing to do with your current films. They said we don't need a script. We just need fan service and fan baiting material. And all you amazing Spider-Man fans who went to it and liked and supported it, you fell for it hook, line, and sinker. If you were a real fan, if you were a real Spider-Man expert, you would have been nowhere near this film. You damn sure not to defend it. You can like your film, but never defend it. Never talk trash about anyone who likes it, who hates it, who is smart enough to avoid and hate the movies, and never ever try to bash successful shit like the MCU. People to this day still try to bash Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's movies and the MCU to excuse the bullshit and garbage and faggotry that was the Amazing Spider-Man Part 1 and 2. Those are the people I have a problem with, and those are the people I bully. But this goes to show you, Andrew Garfield is also one of the worst. I would forgive every problem with the Amazing Spider-Man if Andrew Garfield wasn't the main character. Andrew Garfield wasn't the main character in those films, and they got a better Spider-Man actor. In this film showed Andrew Garfield when he's not the focus of the film, and when he's surrounded by better actors and actresses, Andrew Garfield's actually good. This whole film, Andrew Garfield's short cameo scenes was better than his entire Amazing Spider-Man Part 1 and 2. They corrected every wrong and atrocity with his character and Electro's character in just like really 30 minutes. He wasn't in the film that long. He wasn't in the film until an hour and 30 minutes. So everyone's saying, oh, Andrew Garfield stole the show. No, he didn't. The whole film, it was carried by Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, the supporting actors of No Way Home, and the villains. And it was mostly Tobey Maguire's and Holland's universe. Notice they used Norman Osborn's, William Dafoe's Goblin. He was carrying it. And in the final battle, it was Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire. It was Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire fighting the Goblin. It was Tom Holland fighting the Goblin with Tobey Maguire stopping him from killing him. And it was quote unquote it was what was his face? What's his face? It was Andrew Garfield just watching. They only needed Andrew Garfield to deal with for that short lizard scene, which that was Tom Holland for that lizard scene earlier with Jameson, and later the fight Electro. That was all. And notice they only used Electro and Lizard because all of the villains in Amazing Spider-Man suck, but these were the two best, Electro and the Lizard, and the Lizard, with the Lizard being the supreme best. But notice they didn't use anything from the Amazing Spider-Man's Part 1 and 2 because those movies were trash. Especially the second one, which is the only one to get a rotten score. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Andrew Garfield was more serious, was more like the Ultimate Spider-Man, which he's supposed to be an adaptation of, instead of the lame, try-hard, edgelord, cocky show-off, hipster, and asshole he was in Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. He never got serious in those movies. Here he got serious and redeemed himself redeemed himself. My favorite moments were pretty much my favorite and best moments were all of the action sequences, and every other scene. This film, from beginning to end, was awesome. Marvel once again has done it, and I also had low expectations for this film because the previous two entries in Marvel, in my opinion, weren't that good. I haven't seen Black Widow, but Shang-Chi was good, but that costume, that lazy comic book armor costume that the actor who plays Shang-Chi had was atrocious, and it ruined the film for me. But most of the film was okay. Then you have The Eternals, which I enjoyed, which I loved, but that film was way too long. And had B and C list actors who, in my opinion, were not capable of carrying a long 2-hour film, and had major pacing issues, which took me out of the film. this was the most exciting film, and Marvel completely redeemed himself. Marvel completely redeemed himself, and this may be the biggest and best Marvel movie ever. If I had to choose, there's some that rival it, but this is the biggest and best Marvel. Marvel always outdoes itself. They always say this was good, but how can we do even better? And they did it here. And they did it here. Jamie Foxx's Electro so much better here. He was more serious. More darker, more violent, and look more closer to the original Electro. Despite them continuing, this was another problem I had. One of the many things I liked coming in, and I tried to use this to disprove Andrew Garfield was going to be in the film. When they said Jamie Foxx was going to be Electro, the Wikipedia page initially said an electric tradesman. So this was already a different Electro, and this is one thing I hate. They made it the same Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. This could have easily been an Electro from. This could have easily been an Electro from another. This could have easily been an Electro from another world, or maybe even that timeline. Electro's comic book storyline, especially in the Amazing, was quite simple. It was a regular guy getting hit by lightning, and after accidentally killing someone and rejecting Magneto's offer, he decided with his newfound power he can walk all over everyone else now. He can walk over everyone else now, and became a bad guy. He represents the alternate view of having superpowers. Whereas Peter Parker is with great power comes full responsibility. He was the exact opposite. Electro and most of the villains are the exact opposite when they get power. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 tried to make it convoluted and tried to make it sympathetic while having the rushed and lamest and most bullshit and cartoonish storyline of all time. Here, Jamie Foxx, while portraying the same character, was funnier, was darker, and was cooler. Now, that line when he encountered Andrew Garfield, that banner was awesome. In this film was awesome. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it sucked. Here, it was awesome with Jamie Foxx telling Andrew Garfield, "You ain't the shit anymore. You ain't the shit anymore," and that was awesome. And then the redemption at the quote-unquote end. Another thing, the killing of Aunt May. That was another thing that turned me off. I read that in the what's his name. I love the way that was done. It was sad, but I love the way it was done, and I love the spell at the end. Of course, the whole storyline was, of course, picking up where Mysterio left off. Mysterio's death left off in the first one. Mysterio played the video revealing Peter Parker's played the video of Jameson revealing Peter Parker's identity to the world, pretty much messing up his entire life. He couldn't even apply for college and while some people like Flash still supported him, most of the world now quote unquote hated him for brutally murdering Mysterio. Peter Parker then quote unquote Peter Parker then went to what did Peter Parker do next? Oh yeah, so then he went to Doctor Strange. They cast a spell to have everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Doctor Strange initially managed to do the spell successfully, but then Tom Holland, Spider-Man, trying to live multiple lives, trying to have multiple people still know, messed up the spell, and that brought characters like Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, an alternate version of Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, an alternate version of Goblin before their deaths, actually Doc Ock, his storyline continues where Doc Ock is the same Doc Ock from which one? His storyline continues where his ending in Spider-Man 2 left off, but Goblin before his death, Sandman before he was reformed, Electro before his death, or I think before he turned blue, the Lizard before he was reformed, before he was captured and reformed, and even Venom, who didn't have a presence in he didn't have much of a presence in the film, but he was there too. Tom Hardy's Venom. It brought all those guys to this universe for a cool. Not only did they make the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 awesome, but they made, which I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see a Sinister Six unless it was the MCU, and the MCU, they made that awesome too, a Sinister Six movie. I was offended by Sony. Sony, they messed up Amazing Spider-Man Part 1 and 2. They messed up Peter, Gwen, Electro, Harry, all those characters, and they had the gall. They had the unmitigated gall. They couldn't even get the main story and main characters right to announce spin-offs, including the Sinister Six movie. I was offended by that. But Marvel, once again, showing Sinister Six under the Marvel banner, that was awesome. That was awesome. And yeah, and then Andrew Garfield, his appearance, 1 hour, his appearance was 1 hour and 30 minutes into the film, right at the hour 29 and 30 mark. That's where he made his appearance. And it was awesome. I was expecting Ned and Michelle to bring in Tom Holland, but it was Andrew Garfield, and followed by him it was my boy Tobey Maguire. It was my boy Tobey Maguire. I didn't care about Andrew Garfield. I wanted his role erased. Who cares where he was? He cares where he was. But this film gave that universe some closure. And Tobey Maguire, I did want to see where his Spider-Man was. After seeing how bad the Amazing Spider-Man Part 1 and 2 was, I wanted to see Tobey Maguire. I wanted to see quote unquote Tobey Maguire. I wish we could have got Spider-Man 4. Because as bad as Spider-Man 4 would have been, nothing is worse than the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and the current Venom movies. I like the Venom movies, but they were the same trash and even worse than the Amazing Spider-Mans. And then you got Tom Holland. The film was awesome. The action. I said all the action scenes are my favorite scenes, followed by every other scene from beginning to end. Then there was a cool Doctor Strange, which my version didn't have. So I got to see it someday. And I'm currently watching the film again. I have it on pause to do this quick review right here. And I plan to go see this again in theaters. My friends have already seen it, so it'll be at a later date. Day. I wanted to, as a late birthday present or early Christmas present, want to see it with a friend, but that friend already saw it. So if I can talk him into seeing the same movie again, I will definitely see it in theaters. I will definitely be seeing it in theaters. This is meant for the theater experience. Chose to spoil myself here because I was in a foul mood and I didn't want to see Andrew Garfield, but Andrew Garfield was phenomenal. They managed to make Andrew Garfield tolerable. He was awesome. He was hilarious. I loved he was hilarious and actually sympathetic, and he finally got serious. I actually briefly felt for him when he mentioned Gwen Stacy in the previous one, man. And that was an awesome scene where each of the Spider-Mans talking about something they lost. Marvel, once again, well done. You did it. This was a phenomenal movie, man. I can't wait for the sequels, man. The sequels. So far, Sony says they have nothing planned, but I can see where they're going. I can see a more serious adult Tom Holland, and then the Doctor Strange's spell at the end. Man, was that sad. Man. So Marvel, they've once again outdone themselves. Well, this has been my review of Spider-Man No Way Home. You don't want to hear the rest of the music. Turn the video off right now.